The sharp crackle of lightning lit up the sky, illuminating a solitary figure that lay sprawled on the forest floor, partially obscured by fallen leaves. The air was thick with the scent of rain and damp earth, a constant reminder of a world just awakening from its slumber. Each roll of thunder seemed to echo through the woods, but the figure did not stir. "Ugh, what happened?" groaned Elias. The weight of his own body felt foreign, the sensations surreal. He blinked groggily against the bright, shimmering light of the storm clouds overhead and tried to comprehend his surroundings. Trees soared like towers around him, their trunks thick and gnarled, branches stretched wide like the arms of ancient giants. Beneath him, the ground was uneven and soft, almost spongy. Am I? Everything rushed back in a chaotic wave. The tournament, the final match, the crash. It had all ended with a flash of light, then darkness. A second wave of comprehension overtook him. He was dead. But how could he be alive now, lying in a forest? Elias shifted slightly, taking inventory of his body. No longer was he encased in the lean muscle and hardened physique of a professional gamer. Instead, he felt lighter, almost ethereal. He sat up, pulling away the strands of damp hair from his forehead, and looked down at himself. The simple tunic and trousers he wore were made of a coarse, natural fabric, frayed and patched as if they had seen many years of wear. "Well, this is new," he muttered, running his hands over what felt like dirt-stained cloth. The daunting task of standing seemed overwhelming, but he managed, albeit clumsily. He steadied himself against a tree, its bark rough and firm beneath his fingertips, and blinked again. That was when the notifications began flooding his mind, a series of bright, floating windows that popped up and enveloped his vision. System initialization. Welcome, player. You have entered the realm of Eldoria, a world filled with magic, mythical creatures, and quests beyond imagination. A dull thrum resonated in the back of his mind, a rhythm that seemed to synchronize with his heartbeat. He shook his head, trying to clear the haze of confusion. "What is this? A game?" he asked aloud, feeling foolish for talking to himself. He swiped a hand through the notifications, dismissing them for the moment. You are in a level 1 zone. XP harvest rate rebirth process initiated. Elias's breath caught in his throat. Rebirth? He read the words again. The implications were staggering. He always knew he was good, but this, he was breathing in a game reality, an actual world of fantasy where he could wield swords and magic. He was a character, not a player behind a screen. He glanced around, taking in the vibrant colors of the forest. The greens were brighter, the browns deeper. The trees stood sentinel, rustling softly in the wind, each rustle a whisper of secrets yet to be unearthed. Passive ability acquired, XP multiplier hikes. Hold on, Elias gasped. Did that just say I have a 100x XP multiplier? His mind raced at the implications of such a power. Countless games and countless hours grinding for levels flashed through his memory. The blood, sweat, and tears expended to reach the heights of his world were now meaningless. He chuckled as he imagined how fast he could soar through this new world. A sudden rustling echoed through the thickets to his left, jerking him out of his excitement. He turned instinctively, adrenaline igniting his senses as a small creature bounded out from behind a bush. It was a rabbit, an ordinary, if plump, rabbit with large ears and twitching whiskers. But this was no ordinary world. Creature detected, forest rabbit. XP reward once. Perfect, he murmured, excitement bubbling within him. Let's see what this world has in store for me. He lunged forward, fueled by a rush of adrenaline. The rabbit, sensing the sudden movement, darted away like a blur. Swearing under his breath, Elias pursued it, heedless of his own inexperience. He was fast, faster than he remembered, though that might simply be the thrill of being in a new body thrumming with life. "Come on, little guy. I just want to say hi," he yelled, but the rabbit was having none of it. Elias stumbled over roots and fallen branches, but he pushed on, narrowing the gap. He could see a thin trail of golden light connecting him to the creature. It was the only thing guiding him now. This connection flickered and amplified every time he inched closer. He panted, watching the rabbit make a sharp turn into a thicket. Before he thought it through, Elias reached an outstretched hand and, in a moment of instinct driven by frantic adrenaline, pushed his hand outward in an attempted magical strike. "Hold still." The air shimmered around him. There was silence as he felt a jolt of energy surge through his fingertips, an urge to focus it. A sudden rush of wind roared as a pulsating wave raced towards the rabbit, engulfing it in a golden hue. The creature froze, then collapsed before him as if time itself had ceased. An intense rush of satisfaction coursed through Elias as he knelt beside the defeated rabbit. XP gained 100 due to XP multiplier plus 100x. Wait, what? He gasped, staring at the notification. 1 rabbit equals 100 XP? He pulled up the notification again, letting it sink in. This was far too easy. He wiped the sweat from his brow, glancing over his shoulder. Is this even allowed? He stood, looking at the furry body before him, then glanced at the notifications that continued to hover around him. You have reached level 1. His heart raced anew. He was already on the path to leveling up. Something that would normally take years in any game he'd ever played now seemed within his grasp. Let's get started then. Time to grind. He roared with determination, feeling weightless as he moved. Elias began exploring his surroundings, motivated in ways he never thought possible. He discovered other small creatures and defeated them one by one: squirrels, birds, and even a snappy little fox. Each defeat yielded XP beyond belief. Each encounter honed his skills, sharpened his instincts, and improved his awareness of the world around him. Hours passed, no days? Who could tell in this world? Each of those hours allowed him to exponentially level up, basking in the glow of his newfound powers. He took the time to experiment with abilities that manifested alongside notifications marking his achievements, abilities that reorganized his thoughts into something strategic. Elias, he taught himself, you're here to conquer. Be relentless and adaptable. By the time he reached the edge of the forest, he felt more confident, more primal. His entire body tingled with energy, muscles rippling beneath his skin as if yearning for more combat. Each fallen enemy had brought him closer to his true potential, and this was just the beginning. Ahead lay an open field amassing in front of a towering stone castle bathed in the light of a setting sun. The castle loomed like a dark cloud against the horizon, scattered towers climbing high and bustling with life. Creatures flitted about. Soldiers clad in armor patrolled the walls, their weapons glimmering. A sense of dread mingled with excitement swept through Elias. He'd just taken the first step into a world he would come to dominate, a place brimming with adventure, opportunity, and the power to grind toward godhood. A voice boomed from behind him, shattering his moment of contemplation. You there, state your business. Elias turned to see a stout man clad in rusty armor, a crooked sword hanging from his side, and a look of mild annoyance plastered on his face. Well, are you going to stand there all day, or are you going to answer? I'm Elias, he called back, trying to absorb the seriousness of the situation. I'm new here, looking to level up? The man squinted at him, then erupted into a hearty laugh that echoed through the clearing. Ha! Don't we all? But be wary. If you're looking to grind, there are dangers that lurk in these parts. You'll need more than just ambition to survive. I can handle myself, Elias replied confidently, brushing his hands against his tunic as he strolled forward. I've already. Another series of notifications flooded his mind. Incorporate yourself into the local guild. Join, or be an outsider forever. Elias furrowed his brow, curiosity piqued. What guild? Head to the castle. There are opportunities, contracts, quests, resources waiting to be claimed, the man shouted. But beware, every hero has trials, and evil stirs beneath the earth. Evil? He asked, tilting his head. Like what? Monsters, the man replied, lowering his voice, eyes narrowing in determination. And you'll be slaughtered if you're not careful. Dungeons litter the land, vast caverns hiding treasures, but many perish before they find fortune. Elias felt excitement surge within him like a tidal wave bubbling over. So what's your name? Brahm, the man said. Now are you coming or standing around like a fool? Elias smirked. Let's go, Brahm. I'm ready to get started. Together, with resolve in their hearts and danger on the horizon, they set off toward the castle, the new world lined with promises and perils stretching out before them. As the gates loomed ever closer, Elias's heart raced with anticipation. The grind to godhood had begun, and he would stop at nothing to reach the pinnacle of this newfound existence.